sourdough. My kids requested a cinnamon sugar loaf, so I'm gonna give that a try today. I'm gonna start with my basic ratios for my loaf. That is 100 grams of starter. Oops, I have it set to ounces. Okay, 100 grams of starter. And then we're gonna do 275 grams of water. I think I'm supposed to use room temperature and all of that. I keep hearing that. I never have, just because, I don't know, I don't plan ahead well enough. So this is just what comes out of the water dispenser in my refrigerator. And it seems to work for me just fine. All right, 275. Oh, shoot, that was too much. Because I have a hard time multitasking. It's all right, just fold it off. Back to 275. There we go. Okay, and then I need 10 grams of salt. Wait, where's my salt dispenser? Oh, it's right here. I like to say I was smart then, so I could be stupid later. Yeah, I said it right there where I was gonna need it to be. Okay, 10 grams of salt. There we go. And then I just stir it up at this point. This is where I always cook here because I have this nice kitchen window and I can look out on the street and be nosy neighbor and see what the comings and goings are of everybody when you do little tasks like stirring. Okay, so that is good to go. Whoop. I'm going to tear my scale again. Should I tear, right? Anyway, zero it back out. Time for the flour. Okay, my favorite flour is the Kirkland brand all-purpose flour. It works great. It's got a good protein content. It's quite affordable. Okay, we need 400 grams of flour. And then, of course, we're gonna mix this puppy up until that shaggy dough stage. You know what I'm talking about, right? Doesn't have to be perfectly smooth or anything yet. Just get it all incorporated. All right, this takes a sec, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, shaggy dough consistency. And here's where I like to let it rest for an hour before I start my stretch and fold. I don't know why I do that. I think, you know, somebody on Instagram or somebody somewhere, I heard that was a good thing to do. And so I do that and it seems to work out great. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just leave it in this bowl and let it rest for an hour. And then I'm gonna come back and do the stretch and fold. And then I'm not sure about, I haven't decided yet when I wanna put in the cinnamon sugar. I think I'm gonna wait and not incorporate it right away. Okay, anyway, I'll be back to stretch and fold later. Okay, now it's time to stretch and fold. So I like to, this is my favorite, these glass bowls are what I like to do my initial mixing in. But then I really like this thing. This is what I do my stretching and folding in and my bulk fermentation. So I'm just gonna give this is my first of 4 stretch and folds. So I'm gonna do this all the way around till, I don't know, I feel like That's good for now. And then I'm gonna set a 30-minute timer, and I'm gonna repeat that 3 more times, and then it'll be time for bulk fermentation. Okay, I just finished my 4th and final stretch and fold, and now it needs to do its bulk fermentation, so it needs to rise. It needs to rise till almost double its size. That's what I think works for my loaves best. So this is, I'll kind of like scooch it around so I can really see, but it's basically just below 1 quart. So I'm gonna let it sit on my kitchen counter until it rises to almost 2 quarts. And I love this container because it's easy. It's just easy for me to see. When I did a loaf earlier this week, that took about 5 hours. So we'll see. It depends on, I don't know what, but I think it depends on mostly the temperature of your, that was my dishwasher again. I think that's mostly the temperature of your house and your kitchen. So anyway, I'll see you back after bulk fermentation. Hey, okay, day 2 of the cinnamon sugar loaf. Okay, so I just didn't feel like it. I didn't video last night the shaping and bench rest phase of it. And here's the thing, it was not very video worthy. It was messy. I don't know, I haven't figured out inclusions yet. So anyway, it was all messy and leaky, and oh my God, you guys, it like dripped through the Banneton, is that the word? Is that how you say that? The basket. I mean, it made the biggest mess in my refrigerator. And then on top of that, I baked it, and in the last 10 minutes, so the total bake time on these loaves that I make is 40 minutes. And in the final 10 minutes, you remove the lid. A lot of people do this, and you let it brown. And then you set the timer for 10 minutes. Well, I forgot to freaking set the timer for 10 minutes. So I'm, sitting in the other room, futzing on my phone, drinking my coffee, and I'm like, gosh, it just seems like it's been 10 minutes, huh? So I go in, sure enough, I hadn't pushed start on the timer. So it was more than 10 minutes, and you can tell, because that's a little browner than I would like. Other than that, though, I think it looks pretty good. All right, so let's cut into this thing and see what we see. Sticking on the bottom. Okay. Well, that's pretty. Look, that's a nice little cinnamon swirl. Okay, well, I'm gonna try a bite. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, here's a slice. Now, that is the best swirl I've ever gotten. I will say that. All right, let's try a bite here. It's really good. It's really good. It's subtle. Like, it's not super sweet, but it definitely has that like cinnamon toast flavor. Toast that, put a little butter on it. Oh my God, so good. Okay, I will also say the last time I did a cinnamon loaf, so I cooked this in my loaf pans. Do you know this trick where you put the loaf pan on top to trap in the steam? I didn't do it in my Dutch oven. And when I did it in my Dutch oven the last time I tried a cinnamon sugar loaf, it was really flat. So I don't know, that got a really good rise. I don't know if I just did it better this time or if it helped having it be in the loaf pan, but okay. Cinnamon sugar loaf, success. Oh, by the way, all I did was in the final, shaping, I just sprinkled cinnamon right out of the container, and then I just crumbled brown sugar right on top. That's all I did. I didn't mix it together, and I didn't add butter. I've added butter before, and that got really sticky and gooey. So anyway, okay, yay! Cinnamon sugar loaf, a success, huh?